Hey guys, I'm just sorry about this, trying to set this thing up. It keeps moving. But I want to talk about Candle Magic today. I have not done a magical video for quite a while now, and so I am thinking it's time for me to do that. And welcome, thank you for joining me. I am going to get into it today, talking about candles. We all know that candle magic is one of the most basic, simplest forms of magic for the practitioner. And a lot of the times we just light a candle without really putting too much thought into it. But the thought is what really is basically 50% of the power and energy of a candle in doing spells or rituals. And so today I thought I would just dive into a little bit of the basics, so we could get a little better understanding. Okay, now we know candles, the spark, the flame of a candle represents basically the flame of our creation. Like, we are light within us. Okay, so the candle, the light and the flame of that candle, the fire of that candle represents the life fire and that spark within our own being, of our own selves. So as that which is above, the candle represents now the within and the without aspect. As above, so below; as within, so without. And it links it all together, originating from the same particular origin of consciousness, this particular one mind. Okay, that's where you're getting this extra elemental energy from. Okay, you can give magical powers to that flame, but the true magical essence or magical power is coming from your consciousness alone. Okay, many people study the drippings of the candles after they have done a spell. They study how the drippings appear afterward to tell of certain types of outcomes, certain types of situations that may be involved at play. But at the same time, the shapes and forms of these drippings may have some different meanings for you at the same time, but they're also created by your thoughts. Because remember now, your thought is the biggest thing, okay, to your existence. What your mind is telling you, what your mind believes. And the power of that flame has no gender. The power of that flame is neutral. It's neither male or female, okay? And humanity's experience, we always experience things that connect us in some kind of divine way to the source, to source energy. Okay, candles we use for meditative practices. Candles we use for spells and rituals. Of course, we just use candles to light the dark. Okay, and it's through this darkness that creation happens. And this is why your intention, the thoughts that you are holding on to when you are doing candle magic, is very important, because through that darkness now, when you light the candle, you're bringing light to that darkness, that situation that you want to transform. Okay, so remember that. And as we, like I said, are all created from this flame, from the soul flame, this is why the candle is such a magical element, such a magical tool to magic. Or negative, unless it's actually hurting somebody, meant to harm somebody, or results in some negative reactions. Okay, this usually happens when your intentions aren't correct. This is going to happen. Candle, the flame of the candle is not evil. It is the thoughts and the intentions that may be, or the practitioner's thoughts, that are usually that way. Now, candle magic has been around basically from the beginning of time. There weren't any switches for us to just switch up and down and say, turn on the lights. Candles were used for occult purposes. And occult practices, the word occult means things that are hidden, things that are not really, given out freely to the public, things that is a knowledge or wisdom that only a certain group of people have been able to accept or been able to learn or study. And so witchcraft, all of that falls under that word. Nothing is dark, like I said before, unless it's the mind of the practitioner. That's my mom. I'm gonna get to mom in a second. I'm live, she doesn't know. Maybe she should watch my video, I should tell her that. But she doesn't do candle magic. Maybe if she does some candle magic, you'll see some serious things happening. But in the meantime, let's just continue here. All right. Candle magic, like I said, I'm reading from something. There are a couple of articles that I'm reading off of, as well as my own particular knowledge and experience working with candles. And like the Wiccan Read, I have here in my Book of Shadows. This is basically the first time that I will reveal this to the public, but it's not a complete reveal. It's just a short reveal to talk about the Wiccan Read. The Wiccan Read is basically, it talks about harming none. That is the main emphasis of the Wiccan Read, to harm none. Okay, and once you are following this read, you will not be concerned about. I don't want to take too long looking for this because I know, and I don't typically print the stuff out. I like the items that are in this grimoire to be handwritten because it feels more personal to me. So everything in here, as you can see, this is just a huge like binder folder, but I was gonna make it in a regular binder, and I realized that I am an information like freak. I even have space to put that it can just grow, and I can add as I need to add. Well, anyways, I can't find it, but I'm sure it's in here, and I'm sure you can get your hands on it online, right on YouTube, Wiccan Read, okay? And it speaks about harming none, as you can do as you will, but harm none, okay? The exact words, and harm none, and harm to none. Do what thou wilt in mind, okay, when considering your work. It is very important for us, sorry about all this, this is heavy. It is very important for us to remember that magic basically affects or can affect the world around you, okay? So it's very important for you to remember and to keep in mind what it is that you seek. Remember that saying that says, be careful what you ask for, you just may well get it. Be careful, be precise, spend some time contemplating the outcome that you would like to see before you just dash in and dive with this candle magic, because you are actually giving the universe a beacon. You're giving it a sign. Hey, I'm calling out to you. And so you want to know exactly what it is that you're desiring to see happen before you begin to work. Before you begin, it's going to help you to find the right color of candle to use. It's going to help you to find the right oils, the right chants, or the right statements to meditate upon, those types of things. Okay? Wording in magic is very important because you want to be as specific as possible, because you don't want a random like request. Say for instance, you're like, oh, okay, let me just think of something off the top of my head, like you know, I want to have more money. That's what everybody seems to be asking for, more money, right? Or love. You don't know, without being specific in that request, that you can cause some other greater things to happen that you were not prepared for. You know, somebody you love may die and leave you some money. That's the, you know, let's say you got fired or let go, or your company closed down or something, and you got a little severance package, but now you have no career. You have to go and look for another job or something like that. These things you have to be very specific. Oh, that breeze is just heavenly. You have to be very specific about, okay? Now, let's get into the candles a bit more, because that's what I'm really talking about. Some candle magic we have to repeat more than once. We have to make it a consecutive work. You can't just do it once and expect it to work all the time. It depends on the severity or the size or the enormity of your situation that you're trying to change. So you want to make sure that you place the candles in a very safe area. Not to mention safe, I mean like free from curtains and all those things hanging, like shower curtains if you put in your bathroom or whatever. You want to keep it in a low traffic area as well. You want to keep it someplace where it's going to be mostly undisturbed, okay, to do its magic. Basically, you know, I don't like leaving my candles lit when I leave the house, but I would put them, I have a big like it's a big can. It wasn't a paint can, but it was some can that I found outside, like when my landlady does like it's like clearing out and organizing the shed and all that kind of stuff. I found it. It was one of those reject items that was going into the trash. But it's the perfect size. It's very large and it's wide enough, and it has a lid even if I want to use it for some other purpose. But that's what I would put my candle in, and then I put that in the bathroom, in the tub, away from all the shower curtains and all of that, and leave that lit for as long as it needs to be lit. You don't want it all around the family, all around the kids, all that's not, no. You know, you want it to stay in its own energetic space. That's first and foremost. You want it to be unbothered, undisturbed. All right. Altars. Okay, your altar. Oh, it's raining. Yay. Your altar. Oh, it's sweating me up. You want to be sure with your altar to have a flat surface. You want, if you have to, if you would like, you can cover your altar, find something, a suitable altar cloth, something that represents what it is that you are feeling or that you're desiring at the moment. Some things, some magic specifies certain things, certain colors. Then you should go along with that specific color. But you can be creative, but you have to know the basics before. I say this a lot, before you can dive into your own creativity and switching things around, you have to learn the basics of what and why, where and how, when, all of this kind of stuff before you can learn to tweak things a little bit more. You get more comfortable with the information, with the knowledge that you now have. Candle magic is meant to be as simple as possible. You don't have to go into all kinds of elaborate stuff. If you so choose, you can, with the knowledge, like I said, that you have already gained. You can, but whatever that you have learned, you can just go from there. Just make it as simple as you can and keep it down to candles. Perhaps a lot of times I use just candles, oils, and crystals. Maybe incense at the same time. That's basically it. Okay, incense is another big part of the magical process as well, because the type of incense you use, of course, you know, is related to what type of working you're trying to do, what type of outcome you're trying to see happen. And so it's a case-by-case basis. Research incenses, research fragrances and things like that, and incense definitely represents the element of air. Okay, so incense goes hand in hand as the smoke basically is carried up into the ethers, into the universe. So just as that candle flame, just as that light, you know, is carried, is traveling, so is the smoke from the incense, okay? Traveling through the air, taking your request out there where it needs to be heard and answered, okay? So candles, now let me get to this part about a candle's flame, because I talk about the energy. People burn candles for very, very specific reason, and for very candles. Candle magic can be used for so many things. Basically, sometimes we know, as in church, as in synagogues, as in places, religious places like that, or more deeper spiritual places, people use candles to help with the divine connection. They light that candle, and it's just for a better pathway to communication with the divine. People use it for money. People use candle magic all the time for money, to attract money and wealth, prosperity, and success into their lives. People use candle magic for attracting love, for attracting a mate. People use candle magic for better health, You know, sometimes you can just light a candle and you have no specific purpose. You just like me, you have these scented, lovely scented candles. You just want them lit. You just want that energy present in the space, wherever space you are in. Stress management. Candle magic can be used if you're trying to scry, to see the truth in a situation, you know, for meditation, for calming the mind, for tranquility and peace. Candle magic is basically to help you get along closer to your goals. Candle magic is for sometimes to, I would say, win the lottery. That's money, but you know, that is a specific money purpose. It's not just a random request to get some more money. It's to win the lottery, and we know the lottery is a lump sum. It's big money. Okay, so it can be used for a lot of things. Like a lot of times, like for work, for employment, for gainful employment, for helping you to strategize and moving towards your own business, all kinds of things. So it's a lot of different ways you can be creative with candle magic. And as with a lot of things, naturally candles have polarities. Okay, so you have positive and negative polarities in a candlestick. All right, as it is also electromagnetic. Okay, and some candles are made of beeswax. This is actually a little bit more expensive and more difficult to obtain than these regular paraffin wax candles. You can find these almost anywhere for little to nothing in price. All right, so when you're using now the candle in consecration, the candle that you are going to use could be you could say use a different size candle for different spells, for different rituals. You know, if it's something that doesn't require a lot of time, if it's something that you're pressed for time, I would say you can use those little tea light candles. You can use the little birthday celebrating, the little cake candles. You can use those because they burn down quickly and they come in an assortment of colors. They're affordable, you know, you can find them at the grocery store. Or you could use those big 7-day candles, those big candles that are going to last for 7 days in certain spells, because you want it to be a continuous process. You don't want it to just light it and in the next 30 minutes you out it, because when you just out it, that means the end of the spell is complete, and you haven't even focused, you haven't given it the time necessary to see the outcome, for that energy to actually collect and condense to change the situation. Okay, the next thing is in candles is cleansing and consecrating the candle. Okay, it's very important. This is a very important step, because candles, as you know, it's come from all types of different places. This particular candle now has traveled through how many people's hands? Who knows? So naturally, it's already the energy of each person that held this candle or held that package of candles, or even the makers of the candles. You want to cleanse and remove all the negativity, all the negative energy that the candle has picked up along the way. And it's very important, as with all of your magical supplies, you want it to be free of psychic debris, that is that yucky, negative, low vibrating energy. You want it to be as free of that as possible. So some people do use other methods of cleansing. You can use sage, cleanse your candles. You can use Florida water. Some people use Florida water for everything concerning cleansing and consecrating. You can submerge a candle in sea salt, and basically you want to actually state the intention of it. The intention of it is to cleanse and banish negative energy from this tool. Okay, the next thing is dressing the candle. Whatever ritual or thing or spell that you're going to do, you need to dress the candle accordingly and appropriately. So like I said, candles have polarities. Okay, you have negative polarity, you have positive polarity, just basically like the north and the south pole on a candle. Okay, so dressing a candle is no different from putting your vibration like onto this candle and the outcome that you wish to see happen, because it's the dressing as well, along with your intentions. The flame, the dressing, your intention, all of those go hand in hand to bring out that outcome, that vibrational energy that's going to make the magic happen. And it works the same way basically with crystals. You know, I'm a big fan of crystals. Dressing the candle with whatever oil it is. If it's a prosperity or money or financial spell that you're trying to do, of course you need some money oil. If it's a love spell or whatever, you need some of that. Like, let's say maybe it's a come to me oil or lust oil, or like some rose quartz oil, something like that, that is associated with love. Okay, use whatever oil you prefer or whatever oil is most specifically recommended for that particular spell, and rub the oil on the candle in a downward motion from the top to the middle, from the bottom to the middle. Okay, from the top to the middle as well as from the bottom to the middle. Now, a lot of people say if you're trying to attract something, you would want to turn the candle upside down like this with the wick facing toward you, and dress the candle from the bottom towards the top, toward yourself. You know, and if you're trying to rid yourself of something, that it's the opposite. You want to turn the candle away from you with the wick facing away from you, and dress that candle that way to say that you're sending it away, to symbolize that. However, some people, to each his own. Some people choose to do it one way, some choose to do it another. I actually prefer this way. This method of doing it is by dressing the candle, like I said, from top to middle and then from bottom to middle, because it just leaves it right in the middle. Okay, one more thing now, getting into the dressing of this thing. Don't do that, I'm live. Okay, they also say if you want to send something away from you, stroke it 7 times away from you, like with the anointing part. You can't just take the candle and that's my hubby. Can't just take the candle and just, you know, like smush it up with some oil and expect it to just work. That's not, you're not paying attention, you're not concentrating and focusing your energy and your vibration enough into this candle. And there's a particular method, as with everything else, an order that it goes in. Okay, but always remember, whatever the reason or the outcome, stay in that direction. Okay, after that, what is also recommended is using the remaining oil, whatever may be left on your hands after you've dressed the candle, to actually focus on dabbing your third eye area. Okay, this area, like your pineal gland is located up in that area. This is the area responsible for intuition, for your direct divine connection, that area right there. You know, and state your intention the same time you're doing this, as well as your heart chakra, your breastbone is in this area. Concentrate on massaging that area as well with the anointing oil of whatever your choice. Okay, light the candle after you've done that, place it in a good position, make sure it's not going to topple over, and here you're good to go. Okay, now I'm reading this portion of this website that I'm on, this other website that I'm on. The wick of the candle is the quintessence of the candle, is what it says. The quintessence is the vertical reflection of essence. I should like this. It's the vertical reflection. This has not been dressed or anything. This is not used for any purpose. I'm just showing you the fire and the flame, but I don't want the wax to drip on me, so that may not be the best idea. Is the quintessence is the vertical reflection of essence in matter, every material thing. Although quintessence is a material principle, because it is a perfect reflection of the spirit, to become one with the quintessence is in effect to become one with the spirit. When the candle burns, while air is flowing directly into the flame, just imagine it burning. The wax is flowing into it indirectly also by the means of this wick. Okay, the lower action reflects the higher. Melting candles that drip. Okay, all right, like I said, one of the most simple forms of magic. Okay, basic principles are of using your focus, using your intention, and your visualization skills. Visualization is key in Candle Magic as well. You want to visualize the outcome. Hermes, Thoth, all of these people from ancient and of old, spiritualists, people like Wayne Dyer, all of these people who people have revered and studied and followed for so long, stress the importance of being able to visualize clearly that which you wish to see externalized, okay, in the world around you. So if you want to break a bad habit, if you want to, like, settle some kind of disturbance, you want someone to stop talking badly about you or whatever, you want to get over this sickness, this illness that may have had you down for so long, it's getting progressively worse. You have to be able to imagine it real. You have to be able to feel it real. I've been studying people like Neville Goddard, Thomas Troward, all of these people. These people have passed on from our realm a long time ago. But the words that they speak are timeless, because the words, there was Thomas Troward, for instance. There's no better articulation of this point. You have to be able to see it real and feel it real in your mind, okay? So you want to picture yourself breaking that habit. You want to picture yourself doing the things that you would do if you were, say, a non-smoker. Or if you were healthy and well and don't have to worry about this illness, don't have to go to the doctor's appointment twice to 3 times a week, all of this. Imagine what you would be doing instead. Imagine the people who are loving you, the people coming around you and saying, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad you're better. Thank you, God, you're better. All of this kind of stuff. Imagine those things, those circumstances that actually depict you being well, or the situation is that you would like to see now. Okay? Now we're gonna get, of course, hubby's home, so I don't need too much interruption. So holding this white used for basically any work, any type of ritual, meditation, whatever, because this white is neutral. It's not representative of any one thing. It's representing the all. Okay? But now when you get into the specifics, spiritual blessings, this white represents the purity. This white represents healing. It represents rest. It represents, like I said, that neutrality. Okay? It can be substituted for any color. All right? But if you want to get into the specifics of color in Candle Magic, when you go, let's going to start now going from blue now to up to the higher one, the gold. So a light blue, as you know, just like with crystals, now that I've been studying all of these crystals and stuff like that, the candles are basically very similar. They compare a lot in the color and the purpose. Okay, so light blue represents, just like the water, it's calming. It represents peace. It represents harmonious relationships, joy, like this blue shirt that I'm wearing. This is a beautiful color. I don't normally wear these types of colors. I still love black. I love black. I love purple. I love darker colors. But it's once in a while, it's very good once in a while to switch it up, and, experiment. And I love it. But as it relates to candles, that blue is representative of that same feeling that is invoked in the person when they are around it, in its presence. So harmony, joy. Dark blue, it's the same, it's blue, but it's dark. And so you get more into moodiness, things like that, like turbulent waters, you know what I mean? Green, money. Naturally, people think of green as money. People think of green when it comes to business, success, when it comes to work, when it comes to in agriculture, crops, all of this kind of stuff, luck, gambling, like I said, winning the lottery. Green is the candle color that you want to be using. Yellow is representative of prayer. Yellow represents this, like the sunshine, so it's like good cheer. It's like joy. It's like attraction. It's also can be related to prayer, because that's solar, that's a divine connection with the sun, that yellow color. All right, and it's similar to gold, but I'm not there yet. Red, as you know, fire. Red represents that passion. Red represents vigor and luck. Like when I was telling somebody about the red jasper stone that I have, like that red, it's like fire, and it's good for passion. It's good for love, romance, affection. When you think about Valentine's Day, all you can think about and see is red everywhere, pinks and reds. So naturally we know what red represents in Candle Magic. The pink is attraction, romance, clean living. Like if you think about little girls, they love pink. So it's like a pure, calm, clean, innocent energy. Okay? Purple, mastery, power, like ambition and control. Like I said, I love the color purple. The movie, The Color Purple. When you think about the color purple is representing royalty as well. So purple is about power a lot of the times. Think about that. Orange, opening the way. In a lot of road opening spells, you would notice they use an orange candle. Okay, it's a road opening color. It's about prophetic dreams. It's about moving forward. It's about change of plans, taking a new direction. Basically, that orange. Black, darkness. That dark represents a lot of the time harm. People would think that a black candle means you're doing some kind of black magic on somebody, when in actuality it does not have to be so. A lot of time people use black to kind of equalize the negative energy. That black is said to absorb the negative energy, okay, and keep a space more neutral, energetically speaking. Gold, money, prosperity, success. Now when you think of gold, think about it now. The alchemist, okay? Like the sorcerer's stone. Gold is what you're trying to achieve. So obviously that gold is the gold candle is representing prosperity, success, like you've reached the most valuable pinnacle of a situation. Victory is what that gold color represents. And I don't think there's one or two that I've missed out. Okay, I did not say silver, but silver and gold to me are, they represent a lot of the same attributes. But when I say silver in gold, as the gold candle is related to the sun, the silver candle is definitely related to the moon's energy, okay? And it's also good for removal of dark energies, dark forces, and repels things like chaos and disasters from the practitioner. And it awakens and enhances one's psychic abilities. As you know, the moon, think about it now, okay? It's a good one also to burn for success, for stability, like I said, just as with the black, okay? And working with candles, like I said, you have to find a quiet and peaceful place, undisturbed from phones and then the dog and all that. It's going to come running in like jumping on stuff, okay? Fans, you want to keep your fan off. All this kind of stuff can blow the flame and cause some other adverse reactions or effects we don't want, okay? You can also use some good, nice, lighthearted music, something that's soothing to the soul, and incense along with it, crystals. Make the area as comfortable as possible. Wear comfortable clothing, do your own sacred bath or whatever, cleanse yourself properly, calm your mind, go into yourself, breathe, get in touch with your breath, and make sure, like I said, the situation, you're going to be undisturbed for a little while, okay? Water is also, some people use along with the flame, they use water. You can also place the candle, whatever position is best for you. Sit in a lotus pose, whatever is great for you, you can do. You can lie down, whatever. And stating your intention, like I said, is what is the key here, like you can just ask a question sometimes and start getting some powerful answers. Like, what I want to see, what is related to this life that was connected to my past life or my ancestors, things like that. Look into the flame. When I had my yoga book long years ago, there was an exercise in there with Candle Magick involved, and it was to focus your mind. It was to get your mind in a meditative state, to learn to become quickly meditative and calm that mind. You have to stare at that flame. I would stare at that flame until the flame actually looked like it stood up. It stood like a man, like it was tall and it was unmoving. But this was after minutes and minutes of staring and like my eyesight like going and coming. So it's important to practice and to experiment with these things. Find the light within yourself through this candle light, okay? That's what the key is. The key is choosing wisely what it is that you want to see become. You want the outcome to be, you know. So there's some more stuff that I want to talk about as it relates to candle magic, but I will come back with a part 2. For now, this is just part 1 because this is a little deep information, and perhaps you could do a meditation at the same time. But I'm going to schedule the event so that you guys can see when I'm coming on live and be prepared for it and get notified and all that. So until I come back with that next part, thank you for watching this video. I'm so glad you shared with me, and I wish you success with all of your future candle magic endeavors and other magical endeavors. And just this whole purpose is for us to grow together in knowledge and in power and in strength and in truth, okay? So I will be back. I'm thankful you're watching today, and until then, I will say peace, love, guys. Blessed be, and namaste. Bye.